Today's the day. The goods have arrived. It's time to make some upgrades to the old rig. In with the new, out with the old. So we got the wheel open here. I don't really waste my time on unboxing videos. Nobody really cares what the packaging's like. Everyone wants to know about the product as well as me. We're just going to go over a few kind of quick knee-jerk reactions of what I think. I've watched a lot of reviews on this stuff. So I don't plan on doing a full review, just kind of looking at what my expectations are versus what I've heard. This is just the standard, the cheapest wheel they sell. It's not bad. I had I thought it was significantly bigger than the G29. It is a little bigger, not a lot. Its construction ain't bad. Of course, you can hear the lock flipping around a little bit, but that's not a big deal. Knee-jerk reactions. Construction's not bad. It's got okay weight to it. It honestly feels a little cheaper than I thought it would, but construction's good. Everything's nice and sturdy. It's not quite as big as I thought it was. It's just slightly bigger than the old G920 and 29. But for the starter wheel, it'll do us for a while. So, I mean, we knew what going into this, the biggest upgrade was going to be the base and the pedals. So now we're getting into where your hard-earned money goes. The CSL or CLUBSPORT version 2 base. Now this thing's heavy quality. It's heavy, it's sturdy. It looks to live up to all the reviews that I've seen online. High quality fit and finish. Everything seems tight, sturdy, beautiful design. This is what we paid for. Last but not least, the CLUBSPORT inverted V3 pedals. Very high quality, much like the base. Very heavy, sturdy, all metal construction. The only real negative I can see is kind of, I mean, everything's exposed and can get dusty, but other than that, very good construction. The clutch kind of feels like a real clutch. Kind of has that grab and then all of a sudden it goes over center and falls. The brake with the pre-installed kit feels very hydraulic. Gas pedal feels pretty basic, nothing fancy, pretty smooth. I've seen a lot of people recommend putting the damper kit on the gas pedal as well. We might look at that, but basic, decent amount of travel. Pretty happy with those. We'll see if I need to change the angle at all. I may have to change the angles of these a little bit, but definitely impressed with these two. I would classify the wheel as a good starter. We'll use it for a year or so, see what happens, save up some money and get a new one. Or use that for a while, as well as I'd like to pick up a cheap version of the F1 wheel as well. So initial test fit, it was like this thing was meant to be when I built this wood rig. The Fanatec fits. I didn't have to move my monitors. The pedals are sitting on my adjustable base. They feel good. I've sat in it once. It looks like I've got, luckily this is here. I think from my comfort level, one, the pedals can be moved down at me, or I think this may end up getting raised up. Wheel position isn't bad. It feels a tad high. So I may have to look at modifying this top plate here to drop it down. About a board width would be good. Angle feels good, I think. It's just slightly pitched back. I don't want to be fully upright, but I don't want to be laid real far back either. So, man, we are close. This may be close enough to go ahead and bolt it down and get an initial review of find out what I like first. So we've done the test fit. We pretty much got it kind of where we want it. We're using the included bolt-on or drill pattern plate. I think our original top plate is going to work fine. I might just end up putting a spacer here just to bring my angle back up. Right now it's at about 5 degrees. My old G29 was about 10, so I may bring it up just a little bit. Stock is like 20, but that's too much. I've never liked that. So we'll get this taped down, get our holes drilled. I've got to clear out a little bit more material back here to let cables come through and let the back of the wheel sit in. But pretty minor changes to get it set up. Our existing pedal mount adjustable base is going to work fine. I've already adjusted the pedal plates down a little bit, and I've swiveled them out to where I like. I may end up lowering the adjustable base just a little bit to bring the pedals up out towards me. But other than that, down here should really just be adjustments made, no modifications. So reason 5001, I love my flexi mounts. Just simply push all the monitors up and out of the way, and we've got the rig ready for open heart surgery here. So we've got the plate mounted, we'll get the holes drilled, get this dug out, and get her bolted on. It did not come with mounting screws. Luckily I had some M6 screws left over from a TV wall hanging kit. The base is self-tap, thankfully, as I did not have nuts, so that worked out perfect. I got lucky. Other than that, it gives you the pattern, you're ready to go. Alright, holes drilled, back plate modified. We'll get the mess cleaned up, and we'll see you when it's mounted up. Alright guys, I've destroyed my shop, but we've gotten it in. Unfortunately, it was a bit more of a pain in the ass than the last update. The bolt pattern that they gave you that I showed below didn't quite match up. So we had to keep test fit and remove, re-drill, test fit, remove. But we finally got it. Then back here we thought we had cleared out enough space for the cables, but the 90-degree cable wasn't enough room, so we had to take it back off, notch this out a little more. So several test fits, but we got it. It fits good. Put a spacer in here just to change the angle a little bit. Pedals are set up good. So we are ready. We've got iRacing fired up. We're going to take our first laps. Alright, we're ready to jump back into Nashville here. This is the first test. I haven't driven this at all. I went through here, reset up my controls, did the calibration. But other than that, I haven't done anything. Went to here, all I did was reset it, and I used to use linear mode off. Based on their recommendation here, I've checked that. Other than that, I have everything turned down to iRacing defaults. So we're going to start fresh. So of course my old wheel was tweaked. I don't know what we're going to get out of this one. So my prediction is we're not going to magically be 4 seconds faster, but hopefully the feel will definitely be noticeable right out the bat. So we'll see. Let's reset my height here. I had to move my monitors, so everything's gonna feel a little funky. I don't know where I want to be. Let's see here. All right, everything works. Here we go. It's so smooth, just right off the bat. The clutch will be the biggest thing to get used to. The clutch on the G920 was felt almost just like the gas pedal. This one feels very clutch-like. Oh, wow. It's nice, very smooth. The same. It's funny that at least the G920, I'm getting the same bumps. So the same bumps that are there, they're coming through the same. But it's very smooth. Dead quiet. That's the hugest difference. So I'm not trying to push it at all, just trying to run, just kind of feeling things. Let's try to push it a little bit. Hard on. Wow. Okay, there, okay. As you start to push the wheels and you get some wheel hop, I can feel the de-balance, the vibration wheels on the pedals in action. That could be useful. Let's see here. Last time the fastest lap was about an 18.6. With averages about 18.8. So we'll see here as we start to push. Let's see what we can do. 18.7. Wow. It definitely needs adjusted, I think, to find your preferences and your sweet spots. But this is amazing compared to the 920. Ooh. I don't think I would have saved that on the 920. I'd have went around. So 18.9. I've heard a lot of people say that the pedal vibration, they either don't feel it or they had theirs quit working. But I'm a sock driver. I'm pretty pleased with the way these pedals feel in socks, and I would imagine if you're a sock driver, you're going to feel it. If I was wearing racing shoes, I don't think you would. So maybe those people who wear racing shoes are the guys who don't feel it. I think it's a good addition. I think so far it's the coolest thing as far as giving you some additional feedback. Really cranked it, just burning the tires off of it there. Whew, all right, welcome back. We are finally in Project Cars 2. This was a much bigger ordeal. We had a hard time with the game recognizing the wheel. So we had to delete all of our settings and start completely from scratch. So it's taken a lot longer. I finally got it working. I've got to adjust my screen settings a little bit. But once again, this is completely raw. We haven't turned a lap yet. This is base settings. I think raw force feedback from the wheel. We will see what we get. Got to get used to my shift points since the shift light is different. Right now, the biggest thing I notice is, well, the biggest thing I notice is the clutch is heavy. It is work hitting the clutch. And once again, the kind of force feedback that I was getting on the Logitech, the points at which they were happening, I'm getting the same ones. But of course, everything's much smoother. It's smoother, heavier, more quality feeling. I mean, you almost feel like you're driving a car. Ooh, clutch foot is tired already. Oh. I'll have to go back and check the video, but I believe we were getting, what, about a 152 before? Well, we'll see here. Down one too many gears there. I mean, you can see it there. It definitely feels more natural. I mean, just for feeling alone, it's well worth. I think with practice it will make you faster. I don't think out of the box. I think you still, same as iRacing, you got to tweak those force feedback settings to what your favorite's going to be. Oh, missed a shift there. Curbs are definitely more pronounced. Man, when you hit a curb now, it feels like it's going to rip the wheel out of your hand. It's pretty awesome. Oh, that's just my bad. Alright. So since having the unit a few days now, the pedals is probably what I've spent the most time on. Luckily, they offer a bunch of adjustment for just about any driving style, and fortunately, because you need it. So from the base setup, as they come out of the box, what I've done so far is basically take the brake pedal and I've moved it back to the second set of holes, just because I like the brake pedal to be more in line with the gas pedal. And then I've done the most work on the clutch. So I've taken all of the brackets off the clutch and I've mounted it straight to the post, as well as I've 3D printed a extension bracket just to give myself a little more leverage. The way I like the pedals, I'll give them credit. The clutch feels, they've done a great job at replicating it. It truly feels like a real clutch pedal, but the amount of travel and throw that it has was just too much. So I had to take the spacers out of the pedal. That cut off about 1 inch off the throw. But the angle that I have the pedals to come all the way back, you can kind of see the pedals really at an angle. So this just gives my toes something if I have to go full. And then typically what I've been doing is I have them calibrated to really about right there is full engagement, and I can get a full shift out of about any car on whatever sim I'm running. Most sims don't require me to actually come all the way here. Doing that full throw, if you use all of it, you're really going to lose some time in your shifts. But I'll give them credit. I mean, it really feels like a real clutch. They did a great job in the mechanisms back here. I'm pretty impressed. As for the brake pedal, right now I'm just running the standard damper kit that it comes with. I bought the rubber kit that you can change the compression rubbers. I haven't played with it yet. I've just been using the hard stop adjustment and the damper. But honestly, I will probably loosen up the damper and add some of the spring rubbers. That'll probably be the final setup. But I'm going to run this for a while. It's been good. I've got it set up, and most of these adjustments, keep in mind, is because I like the sock drive. And if you're going to get full advantage of these pedals, I advise, I mean, really a really thin slipper or a sock is really the best way to go, so that you can get full feeling and take advantage of the rotary motors on the pedals. When I'm sock driving, I mean, your tires start to break loose, you're doing a burnout, lock up the brakes, anything. And the counterbalance weights on the wheel, you can really feel the vibration. I feel, personally, if you're wearing socks, or shoes rather, a racing boot, these do a good job, but they don't provide enough feedback to feel that through a boot or a shoe. So overall, the pedals, for the money you spend, they're very high quality. I'm impressed with them. The amount of adjustability is good. I've had to use it, and I'm pleased with them. What's going on, guys? Wanted to do one last walkthrough. Been doing a lot of work the last week on the new Fanatec setup. I think we got everything where we want it. So just kind of wanted to do a recap of all the modifications we've had to do for the wood rig. We got some touch-up to do. The garage is still a mess. I've just been anxious. I've been home all week. Just wanting to get some seat time and some game time. So we've been focused on that. Let me get the keyboard out of the way. So, after playing, the wheel is still the same. We didn't have to modify the top deck besides making more clearance. The height worked out really well. We've got the pie screen mounted well. Sorry for the glare there. I might end up buying one in the long run. This adapter helped make the cable come out the side. But I might buy a new pie screen. They're cheap, 30 bucks, with the hookups out the side. It gives me more flexibility if I want to move the screen up or down and get that plug out of the screen. But right now the plug falls directly behind the wheel, so it doesn't bother me that bad, and it's a perfect alignment on the wheel. It works great. I've always wanted to do that, but with the G29 wheel, there just wasn't enough space. So that works out perfect. And then, last but not least, I thought about having a height change, but I didn't want to have to go through all the trouble here, so I just raised the seat. So, and I was going to salvage the blocks that I had in here originally, but I ended up screwing one up, so I just remade it. So basically, instead of before it was a 2x4 and a 1x, and now it's a 2x4 and 2 1x's tall. So I basically went up 3/4 of an inch. So that brought my seat height up a little bit. It also brought the seat up so that more of my leg is touching the seat, and just kind of gave me that perfect height that I wanted. So right now, I think this is the setup we're going to stick with and do some seat time. So that's it for now, guys. I've got a big mess to clean up. I've got a lot of wire routing to do, a lot of cleanup, and some more testing. And then we'll do an updated walkthrough on the complete rig. But for now, I'm pretty impressed. I had some initial, I've kind of walked through my entire spectrum here from my initial thoughts of unboxing versus what my initial thoughts were, racing. And now having it for 3-4 days, putting in some seat time, I'm pretty pleased. I'm not upset with it one bit. There's not really any factor. I would say if I have to give it one negative, and it's only my own fault because that's the package I bought, I'm pretty displeased, and it's just myself. I thought all wheels came with it. I'm disappointed that any of the wheels still come with the screw type attachment. I think they should all come with the squeeze quick disc clamp mechanism for the money you're paying for them. But beyond that, the wheel's high quality. I thought it felt kind of cheap off the wheel, but once you're on the wheel and using it, it feels high quality and expensive. So overall, it's a great package. I'd recommend it. The force feedback is amazing. Coming from gear driven up to this, overall, I'm pretty pleased. So I definitely recommend it. I'm happy with my purchase and excited to move forward. Thanks for watching. We'll see you out on the track.
Right.